So saving money is the same as making money. I'm gonna show you how my recent investment in tools like my plasma cutter and my CNC plasma table and my box pen brake is about to make me several $100s today in a short period of time. So welcome back to the shop, everybody. We are about to be working on a very large project at the river property, and my jaw hit the floor when I was pricing out materials and seeing how much something like simple post brackets cost. Nah, we are about to save a ton of money. Let me show you. All right, so I was online looking. I need some specialty brackets with bottom caps, hard to see with this being in black, so you can actually concrete anchor in these post brackets, bolt through, hold a 6x6 post in, and then you put this plate over there so the post doesn't actually sit on the bolts. Well, I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I need, until I seen $46 each. You have got to be kidding me. What people are starting to charge for post brackets now, even simple T post brackets that just say ties post in for a swing or anything like that, are insane. Just these brackets alone are helping me justify some of the expensive tools, not to mention all the other money I'm making with my tools. So when I seen that and added that up, it's about $400 for 8 brackets that I need, plus tax. Not even gonna happen. And just so happens, I think I've got a scrap piece of steel left over from another job. The job's done paid for the steel, that I can probably cut all of these out of without issue. And that's this piece right here. If not, a single 4x8 sheet cost about what 3 of those brackets do. And I would have tons of it left over to make money on later. But I think we're gonna be able to cut it out of this scrap piece right here. Insane what people are charging nowadays. It's starting to become more and more easy for me to justify expensive tools. So we've already had these plans fully inspected by a code department, environmental code department, very strict. We do not actually have to pull a permit on these stairs, but we've got to build them within very specific, stringent guidelines. Otherwise we have to pull a permit. Reason I said that is, be careful, just because I'm building brackets, and actually I'm going to build them even thicker and stronger than what I can buy, you may be building a project that's fully inspected and requires an actual stamped code plate or bracket. I do not in this particular circumstance, so we're going to build our own, and we're going to build them better. We're about to save ourselves several $100s. So let me show you what I've been working on right here. So if you come into, again, I'm still learning Fusion 360, really do enjoy this program now. Seemed intimidating at first, becoming super easy. Well, look what I'm doing. I am laying out a big piece of steel here. I've already got the measurements I need. I'm putting in my bolt hole locations, and because we're gonna be doing this on flat steel, see some more bolt locations, not a problem. That's where a tool like this wonderful Kelley bender that I just bought comes in handy. All right, very simple design right here. Now I just need to design my little post bracket that's actually gonna sit over those bolts I was just telling you about. We'll get it all cut out on the CNC plasma over there, and I'll show you how we'll bend all this up and shape the parts that we need. And we wanna go ahead and get them coated with many coats of this galvanizing compound. That way it's dry and ready, because I'm gonna start installing some of this stuff next week. And y'all, it's miserable hot, 100 degrees in the shop, so sorry, I'm running fans. All right, so before I cut out all the rest of them, I want to go ahead and bend up the first one, double check the measurements, go fit it on a post, make sure things are good. And then we'll cut out the remainder of the brackets. And then we'll do the same thing for the bottom post spacer that I'm calling it, that goes over the bolt heads. Cut out one of those. We've got to make multiple bends and set our machine up to do that. Make sure everything fits like we like, and then we'll cut out the remainder of those. It's the smart thing to do. So you can see all I did was just make me some lines here on my sheet to where I want the bends to be. We've got to leave a little over 5.5 inches in between the bends, accounting for the radiuses, because that's how wide a 6x6 post is. So we'll bend in the center. And I'm still learning my new Keiko brake right here. Let's see what kind of radius we get right here. That bends like butter. Okay. Well, that was nothing. Bend that. Actually overbent that a little. We're learning it on the machine. So I'm gonna use one of these digital angle finders right here and watch my bend. Try to get it really close to 90. Gotta do a better job of that. And I need to overbend slightly. There's 90. It still typically rebounds. All right, it rebounded to 85.6. So let's overbend it a little more. All right. Yeah, you can see that bend was absolutely perfect. I overbent on the beginning. That's no problem. I could bend that out in the vise real quick. I forgot to put holes in the bottom. I should have put that in my plasma design, but that's actually okay. I just ordered me a brand new set of really large, long cutting bits for my drill press. Let's try those out in this episode too. You know, I actually do want this to be just slightly wide because dimensional lumber can vary all over the place. It can be all different kinds of sizes. Yeah, I can live with that. It's gonna tighten up really good once we pinch them bolts down. So we got a little gap right there. I think that's acceptable because a really green post could be over the typical 5.5 inches. All right, so here is one of my bottom plates. You can see I had the plasma go ahead and notch the corners out 1/2 inch. Turns out the bolt head on the Titan anchor bolts I'm going to be using for concrete are 3/8 of an inch. So I gave myself a little wiggle room, or if I decide to use a washer. All right, so what you can see is hard to see. You can see the gaps up here, but what you're ultimately looking at is the very fine machine tight gaps right here. See, machined quite well. They're hard to even show up on camera. Fitting good. So we've got 3-inch, 3-inch, 3-inch. Then it goes up to a 4, a 4, and a 4. And you can put all these together to make different combinations. You know, 2 4s together for an 8, 2 3s together for a 6, yada, yada, yada. And then we got a big 24-inch bending surface over here. So all I've got to do is loosen this one top bolt, and I can remove these fingers out and put whatever combination I want together to get as close to whatever the width I'm bending, but we want to stay on the inside. So as you're bending a box like this, we have to stay on the inside of the lips. Otherwise, well, you'd be making contact with the lips that you already previously bent. So I'm just gonna probably leave one of these 4s in, take something out on either side, and start bending my little box. And let's test fit everything and check some dimensions. But what I'm using here is a really high zinc galvanizing spray right here. I was testing it out. I'm going to put multiple coats on this over the next many days because ultimately this is going to be around a damp and flooding environment down at the river. I wish I had a powder coating setup, but I don't. Maybe if we do a shop edition in the future, we'll put a little oven in there and do all that. But right now, I just don't have the room. So I'm trying to get good quality paint that's highly corrosion resistant and put it on here in multiple coats over multiple days to make it nice and thick. So I'm about to bring everything else out here, start spraying it, and continue to do this the next 2 or 3 days. All right, y'all, we knocked out a bunch of these brackets today. Very happy with the way everything turned out. Can't wait to go install these because ultimately what that means is we're finally getting our river stairs started, something I've been super excited about. I'm so happy I invested in all this equipment. It's gonna take me a little while to pay it off, no doubt about that, but we've already put a heck of a dent in it with paid jobs and saving money jobs like this. Y'all have probably got about 2 hours worth of physical work in making these brackets today, painting, getting everything done. Used scrap steel, it would have been nothing if I had bought it anyways. Got a little bit of money in paint, that's it. And for 2 hours worth of work, I made almost $400. I don't know what other profession I could go get in to make that kind of money. So if we keep doing this over and over and getting these paid jobs, it's not gonna take long at all and my equipment's paid for and then I'm turning a profit and just making me a really solid hourly rate. Thanks for watching. A lot more metalworking videos coming. We'll catch you on the next one.